What's up, everybody? This is the Tied to the Land podcast, where we believe that everybody is tied to the land in some way, shape, or form. On this podcast, we'll explore the intimate connection that people feel with the land beneath their feet, while telling the stories of folks whose lives have been impacted by their roots to the rural lifestyle. This podcast is brought to you by Arrowhead Land Company, where their mission is to create, inspire, or advance a connection to the land in every person throughout the world. What's going on, guys? This is the Tied to the Land podcast. My name is Andrew Schultz, and I'm here with Owen Bellis today, a.k.a. formerly known as the Baby Giraffe. I had to throw that out there really quick because when I first moved to Oklahoma, and you were still just a baby giraffe at that point.
I was, yeah.
All right. Owen, thanks for joining us today, man. Pumped to have you in here. We're going to talk about a lot of things today, and I know you're nervous. It's okay. Don't be nervous. These people, these listeners, they're not too ruthless. I mean, they'll be nice to you, I think.
I think so.
So nothing you can't handle, brother. You're built for it. So, man, you've been on a heater this year hunting, and I know everybody likes to talk about hunting, and that's not all we're going to talk about today. So for those of you listening, we're not just a podcast that talks about hunting. We talk about real estate, land ownership, experiences in the outdoors. So we're going to get into some of that stuff. Sometimes heavier topics as well. Maybe we'll find a heavy topic or two to get into. But, man, tell us about your season so far. You've got 5 bucks on the ground, is that right?
Yeah,
and,
5 bucks.
3 different states so far.
Yeah.
And you told me yesterday you're looking to maybe make it 6 bucks in a 4th state. So
that's the goal.
Just tell us about your season so far, man.
Well, the start of the season, it was honestly looking kind of rough. I had 1 buck on camera that I wasn't really even pumped to hunt, but I hunted him anyway. And it was super hot. And finally, I went up to Kansas, and I had a deer that we've been hunting since we've had the farm. And I went up there to hunt him, and he's been daylighting every single day. Well, I get up there, and he just disappears on me. And so I had another deer that showed up. And I went in there and hunted him one time, and it was wild. I couldn't get the side-by-side started that morning, and so I had to drive my truck there, and it was a mile walk in there in the mud. And I get to the river where we crossed to get in the tree, and I fell in the river, and the wind was blowing like 30 miles an hour. And so I get up in the tree soaking wet. The wind is just blowing into my face. I'm up there shivering so bad. And sure enough, that buck walked in there right at shooting light, and I smoked him, and he ran, I think 100 yards. And I backed out, and I think I called you, and I called some other people because I was like, it looked like I smoked him, but I didn't watch him go down. I watched him walk in the timber, and I went back in there. I think I gave him like 4 hours, and I walked in there, and he was stiff as a board right where I watched him walk in.
Nice.
And then I was hunting a place that my dad bought to sell another place that we had listed, where Matt killed both of his bucks at.
Uh-huh.
And there was a buck in there that I honestly was probably the deer I wanted to kill most out of every deer that I had on camera. We called him the 2-footer because he was 2 foot wide. And I hunted him, I think 2 times, and killed him that second time I hunted him. I got really lucky this year. Like I didn't hunt these deer a lot. It was kind of wild. And then, of course, the midget buck that kind of went viral there. I hunted that deer one time.
So have you been able to confirm if it was truly a dwarf deer or not?
So I haven't truly confirmed. What's so weird about the deer is like his length was kind of normal for like a Seminole County deer, but his height is what's so crazy because like his legs were the size of my dog's legs.
Yeah,
like he was just so short, but he was like the same like length, and his neck on him was like I've never seen like in that county a deer with that size of neck. So I don't know for sure if it was a dwarf deer, but I mean with the legs, maybe he was just short legged. I mean,
yeah.
the dwarfs I know have short legs. But, you know,
How many dwarfs do you know?
a few.
Yeah, dude, I saw that picture at first and I thought it was AI. You know, there's all kinds of stuff floating around with AI, but what happened was the deer was frozen from laying there for long enough, or stiff essentially, and you were able to just prop him up and take a picture behind him.
Yeah, what was so crazy about that deer too is when I shot him, it was a money shot. I mean, it was a double lung shot, but he went, I think he ran 50 yards, and I watched him stand there, and I watched blood coming out of him, and I backed out or whatever, and I'm like, man, the hole looked great. Well, I go in there, and the blood is brown. I've never seen a deer bleed brown blood from a double lung hit. Like, that's why I thought it was a liver shot.
Yeah.
And that's when we called the drone, and he found him in the first 2 minutes. It was unreal. But, like, we got up to him, and the hole was perfect on him, and he was stiff as a board.
Yeah.
Which was kind of wild. And then that's when we stood him up. And there's a video out there. I don't know who has it, but we're geeked up laughing so hard because we're like, holy, because I didn't know he was that small when I shot him.
Yeah.
Until we walked up on him, and I was like, I don't know what I just shot.
Had you had any trail camera pictures of him?
So I had a few, but it was on a trail, and all I ever got was like his neck up. And I didn't think anything about it. Like, I was like, oh, that's a good deer. But every other buck I had in there, I could see its whole body walking by.
Yeah.
So now it makes sense of why I couldn't see everything, you know. But yeah, it was really wild. It was an easy drag out. I know that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So 2 bucks in Oklahoma, and then 2 bucks in Texas, right?
Yeah, I went to Texas on a buddy of me and my dad's on his ranch out there, and he told me before I went out there, he was like, you know, I had some bucks on camera, but they're all broken up, like nothing too crazy. And I honestly just wanted to kill a mule deer, but I got there, it was only whitetail rifle season. Mule deer didn't open to the next day. Well, he's like, just pull up on this hill and glass and see what you see. He's like, if you see a big whitetail, go kill it. Well, I'm up there, and I'm like looking a mile away, and I just see white flash. And I'm like, oh, that's a big deer. Well, his grandpa pulled up, and me and him are just bullshitting around, just talking. And he's like, okay, I'm going to get out of here. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go where I seen that deer. So I get in the side-by-side, I drive around, and there's like a little bluff that goes up, and I walk up on it with the rifle, and I see 2 does, and they see me way before and busted out of there. I'm like, this is where I was going to hunt in the morning. I just messed this up. Like, gosh dang it. And I turned to walk, and I looked to my right, and I see a deer just staring at me. I'm like, what is that? And I put my binos up, and I'm like, oh, gosh, this is a good buck. Well, I'm shooting a 33 Nosler, which it's a big gun. And I'm like, there ain't no way I'm freehanding this thing. So I go try to grab my bipod, and next thing you know, the deer starts running up the hill at me. I'm like, what is going on? I'm freaking out. I'm like, this can't be happening. Well, he gets to 100 yards, and I couldn't get my sticks up on the bipod high enough, so I had to freehand him. And boom, and he runs 10 yards and falls over. I'm like, what just happened? Like, this wasn't even, it was unreal. And so I get over there, and I didn't know how big he was, and I got up on him. I was like, oh my gosh, he's way bigger than what I thought. So I called Dalton, which is our buddy, and he's like, what'd you shoot? And I showed him. He's like, holy crap. I was like, yeah, it was wild. And I was all by myself too. So trying to get a lot of these deer have been by myself, trying to get these deer up in the back of his trucks and side by sides. And I mean, you can see me, I'm not that big. It was a struggle. And then that next day, I went and sat in that same spot, and I seen some mule deer. But I went back and I took photos with that buck with the drone and stuff. And I was going into town to go get some ice for the Cape. And I'm pulling out, and I'm on the phone, maybe with Matt or someone, and I'm like, hey, I got to call you back. I see a deer up in this drainage. Well, I look over to my left, and it's a white butt. I'm like, that looks like a mule deer. So I go and put my binos up on it. I'm like, oh, it's a good buck. So I get the gun out of the truck and everything, and I start walking up this drainage to it. And I got to 350 yards, and I'm shaking bad. And I can't get my rangefinder. My rangefinder's built for archery hunting. And I'm trying to get a range, and I'm shaking so bad. It took me like 10 minutes to get a range on him. And then finally, it was 350 yards. And then I had to pull out my phone to look at the turret, the ballistic sheet on it. Yeah. I'm like, okay, let me turn that to that. And I had a 2-prong, one of those Banks blind, little tripods. And I'm on my knees trying to get set up on him, and I'm floating around. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta calm down right here. And finally, I got to the point where he was about to crest over the hill, and I was like, this steady I can get, and boom, dropped him right there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. But what was so wild is when I got up to him, so I shot him like lower back in the neck, like close to the shoulder, but on his like horns, like there was a piece of his horn missing off it. Like it almost looked like maybe the bullet came out and ricocheted and shot out and hit him in the horn. My luck with shooting these deer in the horn, I don't know. But yeah, it was really cool. And that deer was really hard to get up in the back of the side by side all by myself.
I bet.
It was a struggle.
Man, I don't know if you're lucky or blessed or a combination of both, but why do you think God's found favor with you, Owen? Why are these deer just magically stepping out in front of you and dying?
I honestly don't know. I'm very lucky. Like, that's what I was just talking to a buddy last night. He was like, man, I'm not a good hunter. I'm like, dude, you're hunting way harder than I am. I've just been super lucky. Like,
yeah,
it's really just luck. Like, yeah, I'm hunting them when it's the time's right, but also like they don't have to step out in front of me.
Yeah,
really.
Well, and access has a ton to do with it. I mean, you've been blessed your whole life. You've had access to great spots to hunt. You know,
that's true.
I mean,
yeah, 100%.
So, like, for everybody listening, they don't have what you have in that regard, and so
Correct,
you're super fortunate in that way. And but you also hunt really hard too.
I do. Yeah.
I'm like, I bet Owen's probably hunting today. It's a pretty nice day out.
Oh gosh.
So, but you're working too, man. You're working hard. I'm seeing you out there grinding and building your real estate business, and want to get into that a little bit too in a second. But man, your whole life, it seems like, has been shaped by the outdoors. You want to talk about like just some of your earliest childhood memories, or like what's sent you down this path of hunting and enjoying the land and being in the outdoors? Like, what comes to mind for you?
So one of the first things I remember is, so my dad owned an outfitting business, a high fence, which most of y'all know. It was a hog hunting operation. We ran exotics in there too. We did waterfowl hunts, free range hogs, and free range whitetail. So I used to live up in Kansas City, and I came down here. I would spend the summers down here with him, and everyone would be at the lodge, all his clients, and I had a Swift Army knife. And I used to always, just like after these hogs, I would try to skin these hogs with this. And I remember I used to be, I don't even know how old I was, probably 5 years old, and I'd be cutting up these hogs. Like, just, it was terrible.
Yeah.
But I always went hunting with them. Ever since I was young, I'd always go on those hunts. I would always try to hunt in the high fence all the time when I wasn't supposed to. I'd sneak in there and try to kill a hog. But yeah, ever since I was little, I was always trying to get out there with them and always hunt. But I've always been around it my whole life because my dad's addicted to it. So
yeah,
and that's what kind of really started it for me.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And what about Hunter? Like, what? So your brother Hunter, I mean, did he do all that stuff with you? Like,
no, not really. I mean, early on, I can't even remember. I was that young, but I know from talking to him and talking to my dad, he used to. Yeah. But I don't know if he got so burnt out on it. Yeah. Like now, I mean, you know him now, like he doesn't want anything to do with it. Like he may go duck hunt one time a year, maybe. Yeah. But it's kind of wild. He's like totally opposite from me on that side.
The reason I bring him up, he told me recently, hopefully he doesn't mind me sharing this, he sounds like he's kind of thinking about getting back into it, you know? Really? Yeah. So maybe instead of you shooting $5 next year, like maybe you try to put Hunter on a buck.
I would put him on a buck, 100%.
All right. I would. So Hunter, if you're listening to this, Owen's going to put you on a buck. And the rule is, I'm making it right here, right now. You have to kill a buck before Owen gets to kill a buck next year.
I don't know about all that. But
so, yeah, Hunter's also in the real estate business, and super proud of both of you guys out there grinding, working hard. And he's got a family now, and he's building a great business, doing a good job. So shout out to your brother Hunter, big brother Hunter.
Yeah, big brother.
Big brother. So, man, what's it been like for you getting into the business as a young man? And like 3.5 years ago, when I moved to Oklahoma, I mean, I was still watching you play high school basketball. Like, you were still just a kid.
Yeah.
You're still just a kid to some degree, you know.
Yeah.
I don't say that in a negative light, but like, you've heard it before, and we talked about a lot of these things because I got into the business at a young age, older than you, but still at a young age, where you roll up to the appointment and, you know, the old boy's like, I got grandkids that are older than you, or what do you know about selling real estate? Like, you can barely grow a mustache. And, oh, sorry, that was a low key dig?
Oh, dang.
No, in all seriousness, like, it's not an easy business to get into as a young man. So what's it been like for you overcoming some of those challenges getting into the real estate business?
You know, it's been honestly kind of tough. When I first started, like now I have the confidence a little bit to go into it. But when I first started, I mean, I didn't have any confidence going into it at all. And people definitely judge me on the age. A lot of people, like when I was showing stuff when I first got started, they didn't believe me at all. Anything I would say, even though I've been around it my whole life. And so that was a struggle trying to get people to actually believe what I was saying. And then, like for example, I had a listing appointment, and I brought my dad with me because it was a bigger listing. And we got out of the truck, and they're like, I hope we aren't meeting with you. And I was like, dang.
Yeah.
And because, I mean, I am young, but like now I have so much confidence going into appointments, into showings and stuff. They don't really question me on my age as much anymore. Some of the older generation will, but most people, they don't really judge me on my age anymore.
Yeah. So what's your sales pitch when someone looks at you and they start talking about your age or your youth or how long you've been doing this? Like, what do you, for all the young hustlers out there that might be listening to this, like, what do you talk about to overcome that?
One of the things I've said a lot to these sellers, or even mostly sellers, I just tell them, like, you know, I am young and I understand your worry on that, but I'm a single man. All I have is a dog. I don't have kids I have to tend to. I don't have a schedule. Like, I'm willing to work my butt off for you because that's all I really have at the end of the day, you know. I don't have to go to basketball games. I don't have to go to sports games. I don't have to go to parent-teacher conferences. I don't have to do that, you know. And then I can bring my dog with me to anything.
Yeah.
Like I don't have those responsibilities of getting home to a wife or to a girlfriend or anything like that. So that's what I usually pitch to them, and I tell them, like, yeah, I want that eventually, but right now, like, that's not on my priority. You know?
Yeah.
So
that's a good sales pitch. I don't know where you got that from.
I may have got it from you.
No, man. That's, in all seriousness, I used a lot of that, and people just want someone that's going to work hard for them, and not that the guy that's married with kids and other obligations won't work hard for someone, but they can't possibly, and I can say this now after having a child, they can't possibly have the amount of free time to put towards their business that you have.
Correct.
And that's a competitive advantage for you. And, obviously it helps. Your dad's been in the business for a long time, had a lot of success. Being able to lean on him, I'm sure, has been helpful. But also, to some degree, like, I know he kind of says, go figure it out yourself, too.
Yeah.
So, there's a nice balance there. What has it been like trying to fill his shoes, so to speak? And I don't want you to breeze over this. Like,
Okay.
I want you to really open up about this, because your dad has been very successful in the rural real estate business, and a lot of people know who he is, at least in Oklahoma. And so when you came into the business, what were some of the good things about, like, following in his footsteps, some of the tough things, some of the the hurdles that maybe you've had to overcome, like due to whatever impression he's given anybody, you know, based on past dealings, good or bad? I mean, what's that been like for you?
So it's been good, but it's also been, I mean, like what you said, it's been really tough. Of course, it's been good because I can rely on him for anything. If I need help with something or if I have a question about something, he'll help me out in that way. And he helped me get started. He threw me some bones and stuff like that to help me get going. But what comes with that is everyone thinks that I'm just basically living off him, basically, at the end of the day. Like, I'm only doing business because of him, and I'm only getting stuff because of him. So that's tough dealing with that. Like, we talked about that before.
Yeah. And like, so elaborate on that. Like, you've faced criticism amongst your peers, amongst clients. I mean, like,
both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just know people. That's all like, I've heard it from people. Mm-hmm. They're like, well, you're only doing that because of your dad. Yeah. Like, you're only getting those listings because of your dad. Which is kind of tough hearing that, you know?
Yeah. Does that motivate you, or does it frustrate you? Like, what are the emotions that come along with that?
It frustrates me and motivates me. It motivates me to get my own stuff, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was tough dealing with it at first. Now it is what it is. They can keep on talking all they want. Really, that's how I am now. But I've had some dealings where someone didn't have a good interaction with my dad. Whatever happened between them, I don't know, and it's hurt me a few times. Like appraisals and stuff. I had something come back on an appraisal. The guy from a long time ago didn't like my dad, and so I couldn't get this place appraised. And I had, like, it was a big ordeal. But yeah, I mean, it's been good though.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I mean, I think you're doing a great job, man. And it's not easy. Like, I can only imagine the pressure that comes along with, like, wanting to live up to everyone's expectations. But meanwhile, you've got people who are trying to tear you down and discredit you, saying that you didn't have to earn this or work for it. And, you know, those are mental battles that not everybody has to face when they come into this business, you know? And so I've always had empathy for you in that way, because this business is hard enough as it is, let alone overcoming those obstacles of preconceived notions and people accusing you of getting handouts and people accusing you of being too young. And, like, those are the things that I'm particularly passionate about, because I got into the business at a young age, and people don't think about how hard it is for a young man just trying to make his way in what I'll call a grown man's business. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I say men or women who are in this business, but, like, it's tough for a young gun to get in and start wrestling with 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old people, you know?
Yeah, it is.
And to earn their respect. But like you said it already, I think at the end of the day, it comes down to working hard and doing a good job for those folks. If you don't know the answer, that's okay, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's been plenty of times where you didn't know what the right thing to say was, and you said, well, let me get back to you on that. Like, 100%. I've got the support system to lean on here at Arrowhead, and, you know, your dad's been in the business. And so, yeah, what were some of those, like, ride-alongs like when you were a kid? Because I know he used to tote you around from time to time to appointments and stuff. Like, did it ever cross your mind as a kid that, like, you would be doing this one day?
Early on.
Because you wanted to be a game warden, right?
I did want to be a game warden for a while. So early on those truck rides, like, I didn't really think too much about it, really. It was just, I liked going and being there. And then when I got a little bit older, when I was in high school, I kind of started paying attention a little bit more on it and really try to learn stuff. So if I did decide to go that route, I would know. But I mean, there were some pretty energetic truck rides for sure.
Yeah,
I heard a lot of stuff on the phone. I mean, he was always on the phone, every truck ride. But it was, there was a lot of long hours in the truck.
Yeah, I bet. So you didn't decide this career path straight out of high school. You were going to go to college, right?
Yeah, I did go to college.
Yeah. Did not complete college.
No, I didn't.
And that's okay. That's not for everybody. But what was it like wanting to go to college? You've got friends going to college, girlfriends at college, that type of thing. And you go to college, and you and I have never really had this conversation in detail, but like at some point down the line, you're figuring out like, maybe this isn't for me. And I know you were trying to play basketball and some other things. Walk us through just what you were going through from high school to college, and then being at college and understanding that maybe this isn't the path for me.
Yeah. So when I came out of high school, I hated school. I mean, I just hated doing schoolwork and stuff when it didn't really benefit me whatsoever. Like, it was just easy stuff to do.
Didn't benefit you? How so?
Like, I mean, there was just like classes I was taking that like just never was going to help me in the real world. And we weren't doing schoolwork in it. Like, I was just going to class. But the reason I went to school was to play basketball. And it was almost like I only went because it was like, felt like a waste of talent if I didn't go and play, at least try to go play. And that's why I went. And I went to Oklahoma Wesleyan and was there a semester. And I went to class and did all that stuff and went to practice and played or whatnot. It just wasn't for me. And I thought maybe it was a school and not what I like actually going to college. And so I ended up transferring to Northwestern in Alva to go play there. And that's when I realized, like, so I already started the apprenticeship program then and was taking photos out there. And my brother went to school there, so that was cool. But I realized, I think I was only there for 2 months maybe. And it just wasn't for me. Like, I didn't care about basketball as much as I cared about hunting and fishing and wanting to actually do something. And that's when my dad called me when I was up there, and he's like, "Man, what are you doing?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Why are you, like, do you really want to play basketball?" Like, because I knew I wasn't going to the league. I'm not Larry Bird. And he's like, "Do you really, like, you think that's what you're going to do?" And he's like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Man, like, I really want to, like, I think I can sell real estate. Like, I think I can do it." He's like, "Well, then just pack your stuff up and come home and let's get you going." I was like, "All right." So I packed up my stuff that night. I loaded it all in the truck and I left without even telling anyone. And the school came calling real quick.
I bet.
But yeah, that's when it just wasn't for me, really.
Yeah. And how long ago has that been now?
A year and a half? No, like almost 2 years, I think. I think I left in March or something. So almost getting closing in on 2 years.
How old are you now?
20.
20. All right.
Only 20.
When's the big 21st?
January.
Coming up quick.
Yeah, coming up quick on me.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, you're just a kid wrestling with, is this for me? Is it not? Want to play ball, but do I really want to play ball? And I can relate to that, actually, because I played football in college at a D3 school, and it was one of those things where, like, I knew it was a sport that once you're done playing it, you'll never be able to play it again. And so went to school and played ball and got my degree. But, like, if I was on the football field, like, I wished I was hunting, like I wasn't ate up with it the way that some of those guys were. To them, my hunting was their football.
Yes.
And you probably saw the same thing, like, out on the basketball court with some of the guys you were playing with. So that's tough, man.
Yeah, it was really tough. And I knew going into it that I was going to have to sacrifice hunting for basketball. And I thought maybe I love basketball this much. But I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. And that's when I really knew when I couldn't hunt. I was like, oh yeah, this ain't for me at all.
Yeah. So how do you feel like you've grown since packing up your bags, coming back home with not much of a plan, but a little bit of a plan to get into the business as opposed to now? Like, where have you seen the most growth personally, professionally, wherever?
I think I've got way more mature really, really quick from when I left school. Because, like, I used to always just think I could do whatever I want and, like, party and do all that stuff. And I just realized real quick that, like, I can't do that. Mm-hmm. And I got to grow up really fast.
Yeah.
And that was, honestly, it's been honestly really good for me.
Yeah.
Growing up that quick and having to deal with stuff on my own. And I've actually really enjoyed it, surprisingly. Like, I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, I know that's not easy. And I know for a while there, and probably it continues to be a struggle to some degree. I don't want to say struggle, but you probably feel this constant push-pull from two directions. Like, one is like being in the real world, building a business, making money for yourself. And the other is like you've still got a lot of friends who they are in college and they are partying and they want to goof off, spend time doing whatever. And like, so what's it been like trying to balance that? Like, talking about you maturing and growing a business and getting into the real world, so to speak, getting into a real career with real obligations and real people relying on you, as opposed to like fighting some of those battles of like wanting to spend time with your buddies, like your hometown boys, your boys that you still care a lot about, but like maybe are going down a different path, not a bad path, but just a different direction in their lives currently than what you are.
Yeah, that was, at first, it was really tough. Like, I got FOMO really bad. Like, they're getting to do all this fun stuff, and I'm sitting at home, or I'm working. Like, it was honestly kind of tough, and they were always having fun, and they're like, oh, come out with us, go do this with us. I'm like, man, I can't. Mm-hmm. I can't do that. Now, they know, like, he ain't gonna come, so don't even ask him. And yeah, but it was like, and they always want to like, I mean, they're doing fun stuff, and usually I'm working or I'm hunting, and I couldn't do it anyway if I wanted to. Like, it's not who I am, and that's not who I want to be, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. I think that's a challenge for a young man trying to make something of himself in the work world. You got two choices: one that's productive towards your life and your career, and then the other one that is maybe less productive but teaches you some life lessons along the way. And it's way easier said than done. Like, it's way easier to say, yeah, the place I should be focusing is where I'm going to focus. You have that pull to go party or to go hang with the boys, or, you know, be sleeping in on a Saturday as opposed to getting out and showing a farm at 8 a.m. that morning. Yeah. You know, those are real life struggles for a young man or woman getting into business for themselves. But you're doing a good job.
I appreciate it.
Doing a good job. What's it been like trying to navigate relationships?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. Like girlfriend relationships.
Oh, girlfriend relationships.
I mean, so they're going down that same path in a lot of cases, going to school. I mean, you had a couple serious relationships, and you probably didn't know I was going to go here, but I think it's worth talking about. Nothing to do with any of those people as individuals, but what I want to hear about is like, how is it trying to date as a young man in business, trying to focus on your business, but trying to make a lady friend happy, and, you know, trying to give that person your time, but knowing that the business is commanding your time, and then all the while still wanting to hunt and do the things that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
You know, so like, dude, you're a 20-year-old dude. That's got to be a tough dynamic to some degree.
It is.
Right?
Yeah, it is. 'Cause I mean, when they're in that stage of going to school, or they don't really have to worry, like if they're like pursuing a college education, and I'm having to work all the time, and it feels like I'm not like being there for them or trying to spend time with them. And I just don't think they really understand, like, to get to where I want to be, and I have to do those things. Like,
So you were talking about like maybe them not understanding where you want to be. Where is that exactly? Like, what are your goals for your business, for life? What is that? Where you want to be, so to speak? What is that? Have you even thought about it?
I really haven't thought about it too in depth, really. I mean, I know I want to have a family and be able to have enough assets and money to be able to provide for the whole family, and go and on hunting trips whenever I want. And
Whenever you want, you're going to figure out that doesn't happen forever.
Correct.
That may happen now as a 20-year-old single guy, but whenever you want.
I know. Yeah, but I really haven't thought about it too in depth of really. I mean, I guess that's kind of backtracking then when I said that. But I really haven't thought about it too in depth. It's really, I learn more stuff each day, really, of like what I want. 'Cause I'm still so young. I just really don't know, really.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask you again what you don't know, but like you have to know to some degree. I mean, yes, you want a family. Yes, you want to be well off. Like most people want those things, but like specifically break down your goals for me. Like what goals do you have in business that will get you there?
What
Or are you
goal?
just free floating, just trying to make deals, trying to snag things?
Honestly,
when you
it's-
can?
Yeah, I mean, well, I see what you're kind of going there. But yeah, I mean, honestly, right now I am kind of free floating, really. Like I'm just trying to do as much as I can,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to get to the point where I have my own little area that I do business in. And maybe, I don't know how long that's going to take, but to where the point where, okay, maybe I don't have to send out as much marketing because I'm going to just get stuff because I'm in that area and I've been there for so long. And I don't know where that's going to be, really, because now I'm just doing anywhere I can get anything, really. But that's really one of the main goals I want to get to. I mean, get to the point where how my dad is, like, you know, his area where he doesn't maybe have to send out as much stuff and he's doing a bunch of business. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you can have things happening without you having to invest marketing dollars to garner those opportunities, then that's a good thing. But I think the next evolution for you, because you're what, like a year and a half into this, you said, at this point? Yeah. I mean, I think sitting down, writing some true goals of where you want to be, how many transactions you want to do, what kind of sales numbers you want to try to hit, and then like goals of how to reinvest those dollars back into your business to create longevity and sustainability in the real estate business, you know? So that may be the next step for you is as we are closing out 2025 and moving into 2026 here, I think that's something you should spend a lot of time thinking about.
yeah, 100%.
You know? So successful business, money to go on hunting trips, maybe a wife, maybe a family one of these days.
One of these days, yeah.
Those are the goals?
Yeah, one of these days.
Okay. Where does your faith come into play and all that? I know, like, behind the scenes, you and I have had some conversations recently about your faith and what that looks like for you, where you at now, where you want to be, how do you think that factors into all that?
Yeah, so...
And like, be open here, you know? Okay. Like, because, again, this is not to take your story and put it out there and make you feel uncomfortable. This is to help people who might be listening who are in somewhat of the same shoes as you, young person trying to figure out life, trying to figure out business. Obviously, you don't have to have it all figured out. But if you don't and you're trying to figure it out along the way, like I feel like faith is an important pillar to keep you grounded, So have you had a faith? What does that look like now? What does that look like moving forward?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I used to always be in the church, and my faith was stronger then. But like what we talked about recently when we had our conversations, I mean, honestly, kind of, I've always believed in everything, but I really kind of got away from it, really, really far away from it, I would say. And ever since we've had those conversations and you bought me that Bible and we talked about it.
Well, you, in all fairness to you, you bought yourself a Bible.
Correct.
And you said, hey, man, this is really hard. I said, yeah, it is really hard. Let me tell you about this other Bible that breaks things down in layman's terms for you,
Yeah. Yeah, but since then, I've really been trying to read my Bible very often and spending time in prayer. And it's honestly been really good for me. I feel like I've changed to be a better man. 'Cause I mean, usually I was just free flowing, did really whatever I wanted, didn't realize some of those things, that were in it. But it was tough really, 'cause there was stuff that I shouldn't have been doing still that, I was doing, and it kind of opened up my eyes whenever I started reading it and really exploring it a little bit more.
Is there anything in particular that hit you really hard? Like just a whoa.
You have to make me think about that for a little bit.
That's okay. And I mean, I'm not asking you to recite scripture, but like any general or generalizations of something you read and you were like, man, I got to do something different, or I need to lean more into prayer, or, whatever that looks like.
I know there was something you and me talked about that we were sitting in your office and you kind of did open my eyes up on it. I'm trying to think what it was. Gosh, I can't remember.
That's okay. So for people who are trying to figure out their way through school or through a career, through friends, through whatever, you feel like the Bible will be a good place to turn to?
100%, yeah.
Feel like it's helped you?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
It has. Because I realized there was stuff that, or even people that I, ever since started reading that, it's like, man, I shouldn't be hanging out with these people. Like, they're not good for me at all. Mm-hmm. And what I need to surround myself with, it kind of opened me up on that too.
Yeah. Have you tried to pour into those people?
I have, yeah, I have. And that's honestly, some of my friends that I have done that too, they're actually being a lot better too. And it's working out for them really good as well. Yeah,
that's cool. So amongst your friends, like, what is their perception of your stage in life right now? Like, so you're building a business, you're driving a nice truck, you're trying to grow in your faith. I mean, like, what are they chattering about? Like when Owen Bellis comes up in conversation, what are they saying?
Truthfully, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they say behind closed doors. Everything they say to me is always good. They're always hyping me up and always saying good things about me. But I don't know what I mean. Maybe people are a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, no, man. I mean, hopefully it's all good things.
I mean, I think if you can reflect on even just like you talked about the maturing you've done in the last year and a half and the evolution of your life going from essentially a high school kid to a young man trying to find his way in the world. I mean, I think your story would resonate with a lot of people. And I think it's one that if given the opportunity, you can pour into a lot of other people and impact their lives in a very positive way if given that opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a lot of my friends as well. It's kind of weird how like since I've left school and became more like being more mature, it seems like a lot of my friends that I've been getting are always older than me. Mm-hmm. I didn't really realize that until a few months ago. It's like maybe I'm hanging out with these people more that are older than me because maybe they're mature like I am, and I just couldn't be around that anymore.
Yeah.
Of people that are like, they're still my friends, but
Sure.
they're just a little bit more childish, or they're still living in those ways, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Well, they're at a different place.
yeah, they're at a different
They
place.
chose
in
a
their
different path. And like we said earlier, it's not a bad path necessarily, but it's a different one than the path you've chosen to go down.
life. Correct, yeah.
You know, has it been eye-opening for you, like, because you made this jump from what I'm going to call kid to young adult so quickly? Like, has it been eye-opening for you, the lifestyle that your parents have provided you, or like the lifestyle that some of our more veteran agents are living, you know, who have found some success in this business, financial success, financial freedom? Like, is it hard for you? Two things. Has it opened your eyes to like maybe how hard it was to be afforded the lifestyle that you were afforded as a kid, but then also has it given you a newfound sense of respect for those folks who have built this life for themselves now that you're having to try to do it for yourself?
Yeah, it has. I mean, it's a grind. Like, it's every day. You're head down. I mean, it's tough. Yeah, and like the lifestyle that I grew up, it's like, gosh, dang. I mean, how did he do it? Really, you know? Mm-hmm. It's honestly pretty wild. But yeah, those veteran agents. I mean, that's like what I'm in. Like, I'm trying to buy a place right now. Maybe ground to build a house on, or just a house on acreage. It's like, gosh, dang, this stuff's expensive. You know, like I got to sell some serious farms.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's honestly pretty impressive.
Yeah. Trying to buy a place, like, right now, you looking?
I'm looking, yeah.
Looking? What do you want?
So I preferably want 40 acres and to build something on, or maybe 80 acres and build something on. But I was also looking at like homes on acreage. But that's just so hard to find. I mean, now I'm in the buyer's pool, you know? Yeah. And it's hard to find something that like will fit me. I don't need anything too big. But it has to have tall ceilings with a big wall to put stuff on. And that's the hardest thing to find for me. That's why I'm like, I think I'm just going to have to buy 40 acres and just build something on it. Yeah. But finding it in the right location and the right price is tough too. A lot of cold calling's been going on trying to find it. Yeah. Trying to find a place. Yeah.
So has that been good for you, going through those steps? Like, so for example, even myself, I've been in the real estate business my whole career, the real estate business at that. But I'm just now going through the process personally for the first time of like going down the road of building a home on some land. And I've never done a construction project before. And like, I'm learning every day, and I'm like, man, I used to help people with things that like I've never even done myself, you know, which is what you're doing, helping people buy ground. So like, has that process made you better? What's it taught you?
It has, yeah, because, I mean, I didn't really ever understand, like, yeah, I can help you through this, but I never done it, which kind of doesn't make any sense, really. But, it's kind of opened up my eyes, like, well, there's all these other things that go on that I don't know about. And going through that, it's helped me out. Now I know a lot of every process, but I'm about to get on the after I buy a place, I'm gonna have to get on the construction part, and that's gonna be pretty interesting. Yeah. 'Cause I'm gonna be learning a lot on that too.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I think with that being said, like, where do you feel like we're at with the current market? I mean, you're helping buyers, you're listing stuff for sellers, you're looking to buy a place yourself, and your opinion after being in this business a year and a half, how do you feel about the current market?
I feel like there's a bunch of listings right now. There's a bunch of places for sale. A lot of the stuff's super, super high right now. But there's a lot of the best stuff, in my opinion, is not on market.
Not out there.
Yeah, it's not out there yet. Hopefully after the new year, if the interest rates drop like everyone's saying, hopefully some more stuff comes out for my sake and all the other buyers' sakes that I got. Yeah, there's just a bunch out there right now.
Yeah.
A bunch.
Yeah. What do you think it's going to take? You think it's interest rates coming down?
I think so. It seems like the buyers right now too. Yeah, they're interested in stuff, but it's really hard to get them to the finish line.
They can be more picky.
Correct. Yeah, and that's what I think it is. It's just, I hate to say this, but you kind of have to push them a little bit. Like they tell you, yeah, I want this. This is what I've been looking for. And you're still having to push them to it. But yeah, I think it's just there's so much they can pick from and they're second guessing it because we look at 5 farms and they break it down to 2 and they're like, oh, we want this one. And they second guess it and they want the other one.
Yeah.
You know, or they think something else is better is going to come after the new year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, which is a possibility. But I think when you have a flux of inventory on the market and a lot of it's overpriced and prices are all across the board, it creates this like level of uneasiness within buyers, you know, where they're second guessing. And that's where I think you as an agent or any agent for that matter can help them feel more secure in their investment and why it's a good choice to go with what they're looking at, you know. I mean, I've seen it when Julia and I were wrestling with, do we build on our land or do we possibly, you know, find another house that is on acreage already? Like, it's just crazy what people are asking for stuff right now.
it is.
And I think for those of you sellers who might tune into this, if you've got a place on the market right now and it's not selling, there's a 95% chance that it is due to price.
100%.
And the other 5% would be like subpar marketing from an agent that you maybe shouldn't be working with. And I'm not trying to bash other agents, but not everybody understands the rural real estate space the way that, you know, we do here. And so that's a huge part in it. But I think there's going to be a little bit of a correction here. And I don't mean a correction in terms of true value, but like people's expectations of what their properties should bring.
Yeah, 100%. I just dealt with that yesterday, actually, on a place that the sellers, they think their place is worth gold. And to them it is, but I just told them, I was like, you know, it's not what you guys want for it. I wish it was, because for me that's better too. It's just not, you know, we're still way too high on it.
Yeah. And so what's their reaction to that?
They weren't very happy.
Yeah.
But I told them from day one that that's where it needed to be. And I told them, I was like, you know, I'll work with you on it and we'll see, if trust your gut and we'll do it. But it's high. And I pulled comps for them 3 times now. And they're like, oh, well, I don't think you're right. Tell me what they sold for. I was like, they sold for this. And they're like, oh. And I was like, and they sold for this. Oh. I was like, and then it sold for this. Oh. Like, well, we need to think about it. And I was like, there's not much to think about.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, just give me an update every week. I was like, I'll give you an update, but we're going to have a 30-second phone call every week about how I haven't got any calls on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah. Those are tough conversations.
They are. Yeah, they really are. But yeah, if we're not getting calls on it, it's because of price. That's it.
Yeah.
Almost, I say 100% of the time.
Yeah.
If it's listed with one of us, it's probably because of the price.
Yeah, for sure. So what are 3 things that you want people to know about you as a person, as a professional? Owen Bellis' top 3 things that you want the world to know.
That I want the world to know about me. I haven't thought about this one either.
I'm giving you a chance to sell yourself here.
I know.
Sell me this water bottle. Sell me this pen. Sell me on Owen Bellis.
I'm a really hard worker. I'll do whatever it takes to get deals done, no matter what, I'll do whatever it takes. Of course, I love to hunt. Another thing about myself. I'm a really easy person to get along with.
You think so, huh?
I truly do.
I'm kidding.
Like, I mean, I'm always try to be nice to people, strangers, anything. I'm always trying to be nice to them. But you cross me one time, I'm not very nice to you then.
Turn the other cheek, Owen.
I try,
turn the other
man.
cheek.
I try. But yeah, I'm usually pretty nice to people.
And what are 3 things that you, as a young professional or as a young man, are wanting to continue to improve upon in your life?
I want to improve more on my faith, 100%. Also, I want to keep on getting more mature because I'm still young, and I still fall into that stuff of
Sure.
being young and wanting to do those stuff. So I want to improve on that more as well. And then I also want to improve on like spending habits. Mm-hmm. Like now that I'm in this business and all, like this is really like I've had another job. This is really like my first really job. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I've on my own, paying for a truck, having to pay for all this stuff. I mean, this business ain't cheap at all.
No,
and I never knew that really. Marketing's expensive, signs are expensive, work clothes are expensive. I mean, everything's expensive. Fuel is extremely expensive. I mean, I'm spending $500 a week on fuel.
Yeah.
So that's something else I need to get better on.
Cool. Right on, man. Well, as I always say, this is the Tied to the Land podcast. So outside of hunting, I'm going to make you exclude hunting.
Okay.
What ties you to the land?
What ties me to the land? Since I was young, I've always been on land. Even up in Kansas City, I was on land. It's just so peaceful. Like, even if I'm not hunting, it's so peaceful to be out there, and you're excluded from, I call it the real world, of all the crazy stuff that's going on. And it's really just you or whoever's with you in nature, really. Yeah. And some of the stuff that like I've seen out there is kind of wild. Like, you always see it on videos and stuff, but when you see it in person, it's pretty cool. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've been out on a property or in a tree stand or something and thought, man, I wish the world could see what I just saw right now. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And it's cool, like, going out on these farms every week and just seeing, like, old cemeteries that no one knows about, old houses. Like, when I was up, like, you've seen Western Kansas. When you're up there, you see all those old farmhouses up there. They're like, what happened to this place? Like, when was this built? Like, it's falling apart and it's in the middle of nowhere. Who lived here? Like, it's just cool stuff like that and seeing it. Yeah. So. Yeah. It's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you coming in today. Yeah, thanks for having me. You know, if you're listening, if you're a young man or woman trying to find your way in the world, I think hopefully they're going to get something out of this. I hope so. And, you know, they're going to learn from some of your mistakes, some of your trials and tribulations, and then how to hopefully make something of themselves while navigating life and juggling relationships, friendships, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever it may be. But man, I love it. I think this is something that needs to be talked about more in the work culture, is just young folks trying to make their way in the world and trying to come up from nothing, you know, come up from being a kid, I guess you could say. Yeah. And I think your story is a cool one and a unique one. And I wish you nothing but the best, man. Keep doing your thing. I appreciate it. Keep reading that Bible. Keep working hard. You know, the wife, she'll come one day. And, you know, I'm sure you'll be killing stuff all along the way. So. 100%. All right, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, thank you. Yep.